YouTube, what's going on? I'm back with another video, TTVE_thin. Now I'm going to try to be as transparent, as fast as possible. I'm just going to keep it a stack. Live chat, say hi. YouTube, say hi back. I'm here with a video titled, How I Would Fix Genshin Impact. Since I've been very open and critical and talking mad schmack about the game lately, and obviously there's some brain dead comments, you know, it is what it is. I wanted to break down exactly how I would fix this game. Now, this is not going to be all of my criticism. This is going to be the biggest ones that I find, annoying and genuine, easy fixes. I'm not going to spend a million minutes on the intro, but I'm looking in the realms of realism and possibility. I'm not saying, well, you know, I hope to give me another 50 wishes per patch. I mean, they should, but it is what it is. That's not what we're focusing on. We're freaking focusing on the fundamentals on why this game feels the worst out of every single second-gen gacha game. Because it does. It feels dated, and it's really bad. And these quality of life changes that they're making should not be praised. They're good for new players. They really are. But there's nothing nobody's asking for. And realistically, it just absolutely screws all the old players. So let's break this down. I'm also going to try to make as little less jokes as possible, so you don't get butthurt when I'm talking about this, because a lot of people will be butthurt already because it is what it is. But you know, the first way I would fix this game is just sell it to Core. Okay, that's it. Now we're gonna get into it. I just had to get that one in there, but now we're gonna get into the actual video. So how would I fix this game? Genshin Impact is a character collector, right? And so one of the things that stands out to me the absolute most is building every single character feels like a chore, and it's quite possibly the worst experience I've had in a gacha game. What is bad about building characters? There's quite a few problems here. So my main focus we're going to start off with right now is talents. There is no reason why talents are locked to per day basis. Monday, Thursday, Sunday. Today is Monday, so I just happen to be in luck that I can go to this talent domain and do this. This is absolutely unacceptable and catastrophically bad in the year 2025, almost at 2024. When you have every single other game out there allowing you to spend your resin freely, and some games, which we'll get to in a little bit, can do it multiple times over and over again, especially in weekly bosses, which we'll get to, this is stupid. Now, a lot of people defended this, and they said, well, you know, Ethan, maybe Hoyoverse might not be able to change this. Great. If you don't log in for a month, or if you're a new player, one or the other, correct me if I'm wrong, the specifics doesn't matter, you're able to farm any talent domain at any day of the week at any time. So pretty much, right now, it's 2 days, and then after that, you get your Sunday. So if I wanted to spend my resin Sunday, you could do everything. But are you fucking kidding me? Do I have to wait to Sunday to level up my Riosli or whatever the fuck bullshit is? They 1000% have the capabilities of changing this in real time, and they refuse to do so. If I wanted to crown Shalonin right now and had 35 fragile resin waiting, I'd have to wait till at least Tuesday. Well, you're stupid and greedy, like Mr. Pokey said. This is one of quite possibly the worst experiences ever. There is time gates in every gacha game already. Not only is there a resin time gate, there's a time gate on your actual talents as well. Again, this is the easiest fix in the world, and I don't know how you can construe this as a bad thing. Simply take away the restriction. Very simple. Let's continue. Boss materials. Holy fuck, this is possibly quite even worse. Here's how I look at this. I'm going to swap my big ass head over for a second. You could see you need a talent, requires resin. You need a boss material, requires resin. You need these materials, that's easy. You can just farm this in the open world. And you need a crown. You cannot place three restricting items. I mean, you could. Genshin's doing it, but this is why the game feels out of date and trash, right? You are placing 3 restrictions per character that you have to build your account. You are literally inting the player's progress to the point where a lot of people don't want to play. This feels horrible. Why do I want to get on and log in for a character and grind for them when I can't? I just fucking can't. It's absolutely fucking dumb. So, honing in now on this, as I said, if I go do this weekly boss, which one's the easiest? I'll do Scaramouche real quick. We'll go do this, right? I can only run Scaramouche one time. Look on the map. It specifically says, how many times have you claimed your rewards? 1 out of 1. This boss can drop 3 different mats. It could drop the Daka's bell, it could drop the puppet strings, and it could drop the Mirror of Mushin. If I don't get the correct one that I need, let's just say Shalona needs this one. I didn't really look. I'm not going to lie. I don't care. If she needs puppet strings, and if I get Mirror of Mushin or this other one, and and I don't have Dream Solvent. I now have to wait till next week to run this boss back or get lucky in my other 2. Just get lucky. Exactly. Just get... The premise of Genshin Impact is get lucky and log in every single day and work more hours on this than your 9 to 5. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So the fact that you have your 1 unique boss per week, and how many are we going to get here? Arvin, can you start this up for me, buddy? You can only run once. So this is a half discount. I got 2 boss mats and 0 dream solvents. 2 boss mats. If I ran every other one and didn't get a dream solvent, I'm absolutely fucked for the next week. This is not good. This is not good game design. There's nothing about this that equals positivity. How many... I want to see something. If we go to the Genshin wiki, I want to see how many boss mats are required to fully level a character. So we'll just use Shalonen, for example. It's 18. Okay. What's the max? 18 for triple crown. So you need 18 of these for a triple crown. 18 for every single character. Max is 3. Okay. Either 2 or 3. Okay, cool. So if I get 3 mats, if I'm lucky, because we just got 2. But if I get 3 mats every single week to triple crown, and this is assuming I get the correct mat, I could absolutely have the different mat 6 times or 8 times. So it's going to take 6 to 8 weeks to max out my character's talents. In Zenless Zone 0, I'll put Woo to the side. I'll absolutely put Wooden Waves to the side. In Zenless Zone 0, they have this really great mechanic where you can run the weekly boss for the first time 3 times for free. So the first 3 runs is completely free, no resin, no nothing, right? After that, you can just spend and fight the weekly boss as many times as you want. You can fight them over and over and over and over and over. They don't lock you and limit you to 1 boss, and they don't lock you to 3 times. So, off the rip, and I've mentioned this in the other video, the reason why this game feels so outdated is because they progressively get better with their games and they don't go back and fix problems. I'll even use HSR as an example, or Wuwa. In Wuwa and HSR, you can only fight a weekly boss 3 times. But you could fight the same weekly boss 3 times in a row. If I wanted to lock down Shalonen, Casca, whoever it may be, I could just do that. Why are we limiting the player experience behind day of the week talent books, crowns, and then the boss mats? We're going to get to crowns in a moment, but this feels horrible. That's not even including the artifacts and the RNG with whooshing for weapons and whatnot. This is just bad game design, guys. This is genuinely bad game design. There's an easy fix. If you don't want to adopt the ZZZ style, at least adopt the HSR. Let me rerun the same boss 3 times. And give me a dream solvent on every single run. Since if I can't pick the reward that I'm getting, so if I can't pick my silken feather for my Chaska, just let me pick it. Like just at least give me a dream solvent. I'll take that at least, right? You know what I'm saying? Crowns. Crowns is another means of measure of holding back a characters. Now, the counterpoint I always got whenever I criticized crowns was level 9 was enough. Your scalings in level 9, I'll look here, whatever. Your level 9 scalings are more than enough to clear the content in the game. That is possibly quite the biggest piece of dog shit response I've ever heard to someone saying I would like to actually utilize my characters to the max potential and play the video game. But the video game is not allowing them to play, right? Genshin Impact is not allowing you to get a sufficient amount of crowns, especially if you're a newer player or if you miss some fucking events, to actually maximize your characters, right? So in order to get this character to 10 on all of these, I need 3 crowns. I am getting 1 crown per patch, maybe 2, depending if a new region releases, if you unlock a tree or something like that. There is no purpose for this item to be in the game. There's 0 purpose. All you have to do, you probably can't remove it because players will be mad because they've been saving crowns for centuries. They've been saving them for centuries because of the fact that it's such a dog shit system. So I won't even recommend removing it because I know it won't even be fair. Fine. If you don't remove these fucking crowns, at least give different ways and different means to gain these crowns. 1 crown through events and 1 crown through a fucking tree is trash, brother. Make it on every event. Oh, and also, by the way, yes, you can buy it from the shop. If you save up enough money And if you buy wishes, you can buy one for 50. So one wish, if you get a 4-star, or if it's a C6 of a 4-star, you get 5. Well, you know, Ethan, you could buy it with 50. You could buy it with 50 Masterless Glitter. Yeah, I fucking love when my gacha game that I'm already paying $320 for my 5-star unit allows me to buy the item that I need to maximize their potential with more money. It makes me come. You know? 50 is 40 to 60 pulls. That's disgusting. Also, Bap, what's good, brother? Welcome in, man. So the crown is here simply just to stifle the players. It seems like Genshin Impact to me feels like Genshin Impact is trying to maximize the player time for stocks, for meetings. I don't fucking know. But building characters in this game are fucking dog shit, and you need 8, right? If you want to, actually, you need more than 8, which we'll get to later. But if you want to touch the abyss, you need roughly about 8. If you want to touch Imaginarium Theater, I think you need 21. 21 characters, maybe 21, maybe 22. Character building, if this game is only about characters and waifu collecting, so all the other bullshit, is too restrictive. It feels bad. Your other games do this stupendously better. This is catastrophically bad. Please, for the love of God, fix this. There's no defending it. Just fix it. Oh, I guess technically speaking, if we think about it, so if you get 1 crown per patch, but let's bump it up to 2 just to be safe for argument's sakes. So give it 2 crowns per patch. Every patch and a half, you're maxing out 1 character. That's pretty bad. That's 2 months, guys. That's roughly about 7 weeks. Pretty trash, you know? For Imaginarium Theater, also welcome in, you need 21 of that element. So if in reality, and this is why Imaginarium Theater sucks, we'll touch on that, but so you need more than 21 characters to be built. Do you need a crown every single character? No. But you know what you fucking need? Boss mats. You know what you fucking need? Talent mats that are locked behind days of the week or just weekly requirements. This sucks. I digress. Bam, let's keep it pushing. Another thing that really sucks, and I don't get this, is Chronicled Wish. This is a very, very good theory. In theory, this is very good. In practice, this is quite horrible. And let me explain to you why. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters. By the way, Cheese is a standard. I don't even know if it's a character. There's 7 characters on Chronicled Wish right now, right? They've given you 90 pulls this patch. If you want Arlecchino, you might not even be able to guarantee Arlecchino barrel on their weapon. But now they're throwing you, by the way, here's 7 characters and 7 weapons. Some of these weapons never see the light of day ever again. And it's only the length of 1 single patch. Chronicled Wish is such a smart banner. And the reason why it's smart is because A, it'll generate them revenue. B, people were just going to wail. They want to see Shenna for whatever reason. They have mental illness. It is what it is. Shout out to Tula, right? And so putting a 21-day timer on this is super greedy, and it's super predatory because you are pairing it with 2 really strong meta units on top of a really good weapon. These both are good weapons. And then now you have this, and this takes normal wishes. So how can someone efficiently get, and now I understand the whole argument of being stupid and greedy like Pokey said, but how can you efficiently make a decision? It would help a lot if consumers had the option to have the Chronicled Wish for about 2 months. 2 patches. 2 patches, 3 patches. You make more money that way. It's absolutely smart business. It doesn't make sense. This just promotes more FOMO, and more FOMO just overall is negative for the game and creates burnout. Now, obviously, more FOMO sometimes creates more profits, but I just don't see how adding more time to this would be a negative. You know? Like, what the fuck? Why is this only 21 days? 25 days? Realistically, if this was 2 to 3 months or 2 to 3 patches, let's say, you know, people would buy a lot of shit on here, but they have to choose between one. Give the consumer an option. The thing about Genshin Impact is they don't like giving players an option to choose. And so players have been so accustomed to not being able to choose that they get very upset when you call anything out. I don't see how this is a negative. I'm literally advocating for you to make more money. Keep this around. People want Tartaglia for some reason. People want Zhao. They want to be like Xiox and stuck in Vermilion for fucking 4 years, by all means. But keep it around, please. Why is this going away? I don't get it. It makes no sense. So this In theory, very good, but of course, in Genshin Impact style, execution is fucking trash. Something to nitpick about the standard banner is we're getting this new character coming out next patch. Listen, I've already put my thoughts about them being on the normal banner, then being shifted to standard immediately. Go check out that video. I'm not even going to rag on that. Their weapon's going to go to Obscurity, Infinity, and Beyond. The only time you'll be able to get that weapon again, if you do not acquire this new character's weapon, is if you wait for the Inazuma Chronicle Wish banner, which is going to come out in 6 months and then only last for half a patch. It's like the Chronicle Wish doesn't even last all patch, it's only a half. And now this new weapon that maybe might be good, or people might just want to get it for fashion impact, whatever fucking reason you want to get it, will be gone in Obscurity. Put it on standard, bro. Like, what are you doing? You probably make more money that way because people might fucking wail on standard because they're dumb. Okay, I think another good thing to really discuss is just general quality of life for the game. One thing that I absolutely despise, and it's not just Genshin here, but I think Genshin, being pretty much the biggest powerhouse in the space, right, absolutely has the power to change it, is I think after a certain amount of pulls, and I know Gotcha spoke about this previously, I think you should be able to choose a 4-star. I want Chevreuse right now. Let's see it. I want Chevreuse. Been crazy, I got a 5-star. Dope. All right, now what happens if I roll 500 more times and I don't get one single Chevreuse? There's no way of protecting yourself here. Very simple. After 50 pulls, you're allowed on your 50th pull, you can select a character. I don't see why that's a problem. Again, another way of giving the players a choice of what they want, right? Could it potentially affect profits? I think we have to keep in mind that this is a $30 billion company. And so creating systems and quality of life updates that positively affect the player, as opposed to it always being a given pull, as opposed to it always feeling like that the company is giving you something with a circumstance, will generate good faith, and in return will generate people spending more money, i.e. Withering Waves, but it is what it is. Again, this is not a genuine only Genshin problem, but if I want Chevreuse right here, I don't get it. So that just blows my mind why nobody has thought about that. And Genshin could, once again, impact the space and change the game. Like gamers, MTash here, but whatever, I digress. Guys, getting 5 Primo Gems from a chest is crazy. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's the biggest waste of time. There's definitely some chest that will give you a little bit more, right? But getting 5 to 10 Primo Gems from a chest, I think, is actually insane. I don't know why... Why is that even a thing? That's something that's just like, guys, you could bump this up. You could bump that up to like 20, right? I think you'll be okay. Some give 2, absolutely. Some chests give 2. Fucking crazy. I'm not even gonna find one. I'm not doing exploration in Natlan. I think it's a chore. We'll get to that later. But another one that is massive, and a lot of people undersell the importance of it, is artifact loadouts. I don't know why people undersell the importance of artifact loadouts. And if Withering Waves gets artifact loadouts prior to Genshin, I'm gonna shit myself live on stream. Yo, what's good, Beast? How you feeling, brother? Mondstadt, Mondstadt common chest don't even get Primo Gems. That sounds about right. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sounds about right. Why are artifact loadouts important? It's very simple. There's tons of versatile units in this game. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the follow. I got my alerts off, but I appreciate you on God. Thank you. There's tons of units in this game who are versatile, right? And so if I wanted to run a Hyperbloom Raiden, and I now have to go through all of my artifacts, all of these things, and figure out where the fuck it is. Where are my other pieces? Where are my gilded pieces? Where is everything else? It's a waste of time. It's annoying. It's frustrating. And again, it is simply something giving the players a choice and making the experience better. The great thing about creating a video game is you want to give the players the best experience possible, and in return will once again build probably more profit and more brand loyalty, which they don't need more brand loyalty. Those motherfuckers are crazy. But how is that a negative? Yeah, I agree with 100%. The only people who argue against loadouts are people who don't level many units, so they have enough investments to max what they play and nothing more. I agree with you 1000%. Very simple. Very, very simple stuff here. And speaking about artifacts, this artifact tuner shit, the whole synthesize or whatever it is, this is trash. I'm about to brick my account right now. I will use this as... I will be him. I've played these games before. I will brick my account right now and use the elixirs because I don't fucking care, and I will show you how trash the system is. I'm going to move my head over here real quick. So, I can only craft one obsidian codex. Uno obsidian codex artifact piece. I can only craft one scroll piece, and I have 5 of these, which took an infinite amount of farming, which is really bad. Before I even get to the acquisition of the Sanctifying Elixirs, the fact that you can only craft one set piece is crazy, and each one costing different amounts. I'll swap back again, swap back. A sands costs 2, a goblet costs 4, and a circlet costs 3. We'll go big boy dicko mode here. I'm going to go for an EM goblet here. We'll go EM goblet, and we're going to go crit rate, crit damage, right? And then you're going to say, well, Ethan, why don't you just wait for when the artifact selector gives you 2 woes on the artifact? Hey, brother, I have some fodder. I don't fucking need to wait. That is not the answer to the problem. The problem is there's no reason that a goblet should cost 4 sanctifying elixirs when some of these are locked behind paywalls, and none of these should cost more than 2, and you can only craft 1 artifact per set. Okay. Completed fixes. Let's do this. Crit rate, crit damage. Boom. Let's do it. Dope. Gave me HP. Cool. Where to go? Oh. I don't know if you guys could see it. Wow. Artifact domain has reached the limit. It's a 3-line artifact. It is a 3-line artifact. So off rip, a month of farming went down the drain because the first roll is going to go into a completely different stat and physically cannot go into crit rate, crit damage. So what was the fucking point of this? Do you know? Because I don't. I don't fucking know. Like, what the fuck? There goes my progress for the 3 months. Dope. And this is Genshin Impact for you. Cool, Ethan, how do they fix it? So it's pretty simple. You lower the cost down to 2 per, and you're able to allow people, if you want to, if you don't want to allow people to craft 4 artifacts, and again, we haven't even gotten to the Sanctifying Elixir acquisition, but if you don't want to allow people to craft 4 artifacts out of one singular set, allow them to craft 3, and then they can come back next month and craft their 4th one, so that way they don't forget about Genshin Impact. Because what the fuck? Now I have 1 left, and I can only craft a fucking feather or a flower. What the fuck is this video game? How is this intuitive? How is Dawe gonna sit there on stage and cry about this? Sucks. So very simple. Cut all these costs. 2, 2, 2, 1, and 1. Allow you to craft at least 3. You don't want to do 4? I get it. It is what it is. Fucking craft 3. And call it a day, right? The leveling it up by 20 or by 2. Oh my god, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Granted. Thank you so much. Okay, cool. It's ass. This is ass. Sanctifying Elixir acquisition is just as dog shit. Artifact transmitter extraction. Obtain from making offerings. Obtain from tribal secret. Obtain. Huh, what's that? Wait, what's that? Wait, what's that? Wait. What's that though? What was the last one there? What was the last one there? Hold on. Huh. Oh, I gotta buy the battle pass. Oh yeah, true. My fault, OG. Sorry, Dawe. I'll make sure. I'll make sure to buy this so I can recover. And then in 3 more months, I'll be able to craft another goblet that's dog shit. Do you see the problem here? Or for reference, I was able to build an echo. Oh, 100%. This is a good reference, which is about 18.5 days characters per 8 days per character. So the reason why Wuthering Waves is a good example here is because they're completely parallel, right? And so Wuthering Waves has its own problems that I've made multiple videos on all the time. And they have a massive problem with Echo XP. But the thing is, the limitations of acquiring the materials you need for talents and even echoes don't cost resin. And so the artifacts still costing resin, and then the artifact selector costing a different form, a different currency of sanctifying elixirs, and then limiting that even more is fucking atrocious. This is not a good system, right? So that's how I would fix that. Cool. speaking of resin, because artifacts require resin, and here's the thing. I would actually, I'm going to give a little bit of a hot take. I think, as I've said before, talent should be different days of the week. I would absolutely be okay. Let me rephrase that. I would not be okay, but I'd be a lot better if the talents didn't require days of the week. If we had a resin overflow system, there is no reason why this is the only game out of the big three with no resin overflow. Why? Well, I don't know why. I have no answer for you. I don't care that they brought the resin up to 200. It doesn't change anything. This changes literally nothing, right? And so this is why the game feels like a job. Obviously, the whole thing of FOMO is that you want to make it so you log in every day, yada, yada. I get that. Listen, we're over that, okay? Honkai Star Rail has like, what, 1,200, 2,000? Wuwa only has 480. DZZ has a Resin Bank overflow. Holy fuck, add a Resin Bank overflow to Genshin Impact. The most restrictive game that requires the most amount of resin to use for acquisition of any meaningful materials requires resin. Add a fucking overflow. Holy shit. At least if you don't log in Monday through Saturday, but you log in Sunday, and there's 500 resin waiting there on top of your normal resin, you could bang out all your talents. Why is it? So my solution is add it. It's pretty simple. I don't see a way around that, right? That one's fucking a no-brainer. Events should be permanent. There is no reason why events, especially events that that provide weapons, or some maybe even best in slot weapons, are not permanent modes. There's no reason. It's really shitty, right? Honkai Star Rail has permanent events. Wuwa has permanent events. I don't really know about ZZZ, but the counter argument to, well, there's not enough storage is so stupid, because you should be able to just uninstall something if you don't need it. I'm not saying uninstall Mondstadt. I'm not saying uninstall Liyue, but for Christ's sakes, if you don't need certain events, just uninstall it. If you don't need dialogue or things for side quests, uninstall it. I don't like this whole mentality of, well, Ethan, you know, that takes time and effort. Yes, it takes time and effort for them to create a better game for you that you're sinking thousands and thousands of dollars into. Let's stop pretending the $30 billion company doesn't have the resources or the technology to store some events and take it off your device, and then you could reinstall it. Also, a 8-year-old's reading comprehension should be able to understand the word take away or uninstall, and they could speak to their parents about it as well. I mean, like, for fuck's sakes, stop that. Albedo's weapon. He didn't have a best-in-slot weapon for 3 years until Chiori came out. Don't you think that's fucking trash? So events should absolutely be permanent, especially if they're crowned events. If they're crowned events, what's good, Michael? If you have events that give crowns, and you're not even going to add crown acquisition through story quest, through side quest, through leveling up your world rank, fucking leave the quest in there. Leave the events there. Why am I being punished for not wanting... God bless an account executive manager. Why am I being punished for not wanting to play this shit? What the fuck? Oh my God. Like, that's so dumb. Allow it. Well, Ethan, if they leave the crowns there, people will have access to make their characters better. Yeah, that's the point. You didn't spend $400 for Malvika and her sword to not get enough crowns to make her level 10, right? To get big damage numbers. Stop being fucking stupid. Stop defending the company. Stop saying that, oh, well, this is enough, so it doesn't matter. Just because there's a possible solution to it doesn't mitigate the fact there's a legitimate inherent problem of their stifling all your progress. What? Fuck me, bro. But Ethan, the billion-dollar company. Yeah, okay. Holy Christ. Res Overflow, Chronicle Wish, General Quality of Life. Okay. Last two. I'm not even going to touch on Natlin, and I'm not even going to touch on locking kits behind characters. That's inherently predatory. It feels like shits. The Saurian's stuck, and you should be ashamed of yourself if you're defending this. I'm just going to tell you. I'm just going to be honest with you. So I won't even touch on that. We'll leave that alone. That's for a different video, which I've already made multiple times. I'm going to touch on storytelling. I'm going to touch on the endgame. I'm going to pull out a document right now. I got you guys right now. Malvika slayed the big bad enemy. And that shit was cool as fuck. Traveler got no lore about their sister and was told to go to a different region. Please spend money. Dawe. This is how they tell their stories. And here's the problem that someone brought to my attention. Genshin Impact actually made a really cool cutscene. Now, I have to give credit where credit is due, and we're going to watch this together real quick. They made a pretty cool cutscene that I personally don't think it's enough, but I think this is a good step in the direction. The Sitlali, it's not even a cutscene. The Sitlali dialogue and this is pretty fucking sick. Like, this is pretty cool. Watch this. Fuck me. Hold up. Where is it?
World. But I can still see the image of them collapsed at my feet that night. The raging fire, the smoke, the smell of blood, the sound of my brother's cries. It's all burned into my brain. They told me to run, and I could see the fear in their eyes. I've been running from my fears ever since. But why didn't my parents run? It must have been because...
You can do it!
Because of our family. When you have someone to protect...
Yo, her name is Mentally Ill Person, which is kind of insane, which is kind of crazy. But this cutscene, or not even a cutscene, this portion of the story is good. This is showing and not telling, right? And I actually think, again, I think this is a very big step for them. This should be the norm, and there's no reason why we need to have idle pose 1, idle pose 2, idle pose 1, 2, and idle pose 3. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And again, you need to stop with this whole... The counter argument that I've seen in a lot of my comments is that there's not enough storage for them to change the camera angles. You're fucking stupid. There's 1000% enough storage, and there's so many ways that they can make the storytelling more engaging. I'm not even touching on the word count. I'm simply touching on the fact that the way they present their story is so bare minimum. Nobody has expressions. All the models look outdated. I understand maybe we can't really go too heavy on the older models, but they should 100% bring up the new models. You don't need idle poses. You don't. Just show the black screen like Wuma said, because the black screen seems to be more efficient. They did it in Star Rail. They're doing it in this. Boys, by the way, thank you for the follows. I appreciate you. I got my alerts off because while recording, but I appreciate you so much. It means the world to me. This is the epitome of lazy. And if you really think about it, as I've said previously, the reason why this is counterintuitive to their whole goal is the whole point of creating stories in Genshin is to sell the characters. So if they tell you the story a little bit better, maybe you would actually find a bit more of an actual connection to people, right? There needs to be more camera cuts. There needs to be more expressions. There needs to be more dialogue that isn't stupid, that isn't covered by... Paimon and herself needs to go to sleep, brother. Hit her with a tranquilizer, brother. Hit her with a tranquilizer in game. I'm tired of hearing it. It's bad. The game is not told through the perspective of someone looking for their lost twin. The game is told from the perspective of a flying fairy that nobody fucking cares about. So it's very simple. I'm not even saying do more CG cutscenes. Guys, Malvika versus Cappuccino, fucking top tier. In the first act, that cutscene was crazy. That shit had me going wild. That felt like a Shonen Jump cutscene. I'm dragging a little bit. It wasn't Shonen Dumb, but that was great. But everything else was bad. So they're making improvements in some parts, but this needs to be the norm. There's no, again, Nation of War. There was more war in the opening cutscene of Honkai Star Rail 3.0 than there was in Natlan's all 13 and 14 hours of story quest. I'm sorry to tell you, that's just the God's honest truth. It is what it is. Can we get a fast shout out from Miles? Welcome in, brother. How are you? So storytelling, absolutely lackluster. Absolutely lackluster. I don't play a game to read a novel. Exactly. If I did, I'd play Love in Deep Space and Jork It to Silas in game, of course. It's bad. It's just bad, right? The other criticism with the storytelling and this is very simple, and I forgot to mention this, is a skip button. There is fundamentally nothing wrong with giving your players a choice. And a choice if they want to sit through all of the story or just skip it. So by enabling players to have the control, maybe they just want to skip so they can get to the abyss. Maybe they want to skip just so they can do the combat. Maybe they really love the exploration. They don't care about the story. You're turning people off the game by making them listen to hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of yap, even if it's peak like Fontaine. Fontaine, I think, is the best gacha story ever told. Needs a skip button. The lack of skip button is insane. And the counter argument to, well, why would you skip the story in a story game? This is not 100% a story game. Stop that lie. That's not true. Let's not pretend like that's the only reason this game exists. If it was a story game, I wouldn't be rolling for Arlecchino and her weapon. You know what I'm saying? So just, again, it boils down to giving the players as many choices as possible to experience the game the way they want to experience it. Also, Wuwa has a function where it's a skip and a summary. So if you skip, there's a little bit of dialogue right there that says what occurred when you skipped. Keep that in mind. So storytelling. Last but not least, we're breaking down the Abyss in IT. Going back to the Abyss, you need to build 8 characters. Sometimes in the Abyss, there's elemental affinities that don't work against certain characters. So you're fucked if you don't have. Act 4 did have war. Brother, I don't care about Saurians dying. I don't care about an NPC dying. Let's not pretend that's war. We got to be honest with ourselves. So the Abyss, as I've said, they throttle your character progress, but you know, if you have 8 characters built, you know, you might be able to kind of, you know, finagle, you know, you might be able to get through it a little bit depending on what's going on. But a lot of the times you are stuck behind mechanics like this guy or these two. Guys, build, if you don't have your Natlan characters built or some character that can absolutely go crazy, you're fucked. I had Arlecchino going with Zincho, Yalan, and Bennett. I was hitting this motherfucker for a very long time, and I've died multiple times, and I got it on my 4th or 5th try. That's insane. I had to swap to Chaska. I break this dude's shields in fucking 2 skills. I have so much time pass, so much time there. It's really not good. The Abyss, I think, has tailored way more to the Natlan, and I understand that. I understand in which that the Abyss is supposed to sell the new unit. I get that. I'm not even going to get into why the Abyss is bad. I understand. Like, the fundamentally why the Abyss is bad. You can have your own opinion. You can like it, you don't like it, I don't care. But when you're implementing mechanics, people finally want mechanics. They want the enemy boss designs to not be dog shit. Instead of it like the Weenut goes underground, goes away. Aeon Flight Drake goes around, nothing, right? You finally implement a mechanic, and it's really locked behind a paywall to clear it comfortably. Let's call a spade a spade. Chaska nukes it in fucking 5 seconds. Less than 5 seconds, right? This is where the whole thing, they don't listen. I'm tired. Your boss designs are bad. Your character designs are bad. How do you fix this? You create bosses that have mechanics that just absolutely are fun to play, that don't require region locking. I will give you a perfect example. Scaramouche, fun as fuck. Scaramouche, if you're not too overpowered, you use little plates on the floor, you shock the enemy, you do this, you do that, he goes down, you DPS. You have to kill certain things, you need a specific element, which isn't a problem, everyone gets Shanglang for free. Like, it's not like this crazy, horrible, predatory boss, it's not that big of the deal. You could even include their version of holograms. What's it called? Oh my god, what are the enemies, the big bad enemies in Natlan? What are they called again? Fuck me. You can include local legends, right? Everyone said that Genshin Impact didn't have the capability of adding a real dodging system. One of the local legends legitimately proved that inaccurate. Once you dodge, it slows down time for a moment the same way it does in Wuwa, and then you attack, it does massive damage. Wow, can you look at that? Genshin Impact can change their core mechanics if they wanted to, but they don't, right? But that's a different conversation. Include fun bosses. Include interactive things. It sucks. And there's no reason for this to reset once a month. The game already has no content. You reset this once a month instead of twice a week. Well, Ethan, if you do this and IT, you get 200 more Primo Gems. Wow. Wow, would you? Oh my God, yeah. Well, I would rather just you fucking reset this twice a week or reset IT twice a week. What the fuck? Like it's not that big, and you can't even clear IT, bro. A lot of people don't have enough characters for Imaginarium Theater to begin with because character building is so restrictive. Once a month is crazy. Twice a month. I'm sorry, twice a month. My apologies. Twice. I misspoke. Twice a month. Reset them both twice a month. They made parry system. I know, it's fucking insane. It's so insane. Imaginarium Theater. They dropped an article a couple years ago saying that they don't want to give their players anxiety, and then they pumped out this biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen. This game mode is absolutely atrocious in every single way possible. And the reason why this is bad is that this is not fun endgame. This is not a real roguelike. The cards, the boons, they don't matter. Yes, I've played it since they've updated it. I've cleared multiple Imaginarium Theaters with the new boons, without the new boons. It's not fun. How do you fix Imaginarium Theater? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you do. I don't think they fixed it. You could get rid of the elemental affinities, and you could just lock it down to maybe only picking like 7 or 8 characters, right? But that doesn't really do anything. I think the best way, what's the local legends with dodge mechanic? I'll find it in a minute for you, Zeb. We don't want to give players anxiety, so we made our game super predatory and likely cause gambling. Exactly. They shifted gems from, that can't afford a third endgame. I know. It's so stupid. I listen, I don't know how you fix this. I'm going to be honest with you. I really don't. The game mode in itself locks play styles, and if you don't have people matching these 3 affinities, these 3 elements, you're fucked, right? So, I think you just make a new roguelike. Make a simulated universe. Make a tower. There's so many things. We have a Tower Abyss coming out. It might be good, it might be bad, I don't know. I'll reserve my judgment. But it's like every single thing they create, it's backhanded. Oh, here's a new endgame mode. But in order for you to compete the endgame mode and get the max rewards, you have to have multiple characters, up to 22 characters, built under these 3 specific restrictions. And then what happens is that if I build enough characters finally for this month, and then it's like the last day or it resets, 2 of these elements are gone, I'm shit out of luck. Also, Zeb, thank you for the follow, brother. I appreciate you. My bad. I have my alerts off. I'm shit out of luck. So this just promotes more gambling. It just promotes... This system is flawed. The system is flawed. You know? So, I agree with Wuma. This is actually a really good solution. At least you should give a notice saying these are the next 3 elements. Start building like 2 months before the IT starts. Either a month, 2 weeks, something. Give the players a heads up or something. I just think that this game mode is not fun. I know this game mode is not fun, and nobody wanted a restrictive game mode where you can't play the characters you like. I don't. During the day on the patch notes, Hyper, there's a massive difference between saying, here's the elements 2 days before the patch, and then giving people 2 weeks saying, here's the new characters. Be on the lookout. Very big difference. And if you think those 2 are the same, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Like, you're just actually wrong. Because they're nowhere near close. Yeah. I mean, that's like the basis. There's definitely more things that I could talk about. Stop putting 2 best in slot characters on the same banner, same half. That's fucking dog shit. Right? There's a lot of things I could talk about. I try to be objectively. Try to be as nice about it as possible as well. But that's how I would fix the main problems with Genshin. I think that these problems could easily make the game feel less of a chore and make it feel up to date because it feels outdated. Again, I didn't touch on expiration. I didn't touch on any of the Natlan predatory mechanics. We could do that for a second video, if anything. But I've covered that in depth already. It's trash. It's dog shit. It's just them trying to sell money. Let me know what you think. Tell me why I'm right and you're wrong. I love you. Mwah. I'll see you in the next one.